here's the way it works. The touch exercise itself has 3 steps. Step number 1 is do a touch. I usually always use a simple touch, a stroke, put up my non-dominant hand and stroke with a fingertip of the other hand, really lightly and slowly, because that generates the most sensation. And we do that for about 30 seconds, maybe longer if it takes longer. And you can stop right now.
Just I don't want to.
Okay. All right. Well, you can keep going.
Feels good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the nice thing about really light and slow sensations. They feel really good. That touch will generate 2 different kinds of sensation in our bodies. One is what I call the direct sensation. And for me, it's kind of the sensation on my palm. This is my subjective evaluation of it. It's somewhere between a tickle and an itch. And it hangs around after I stop. It's kind of cool. And that's the direct sensation. The sensation that we're really interested in is what I call the response sensation, because our mind generates some kind of emotional response to whatever's going on. And if we keep it up for a while, especially if it's something that feels good, our body will generate something. It's typically some set of sensations between the neck and the hips, somewhere in there, more commonly center line than peripheral, but it's different for everybody. So that's what we're looking for. So let's start. Go ahead, do the stroking now for 30 seconds or until you are strongly aware of some kind of response sensation in your body.
Okay.
And as
not you here, anywhere else.
Yeah, not the sensation in your hand. That's good. Don't forget about that one because we're going to use it later too. But for right now, what I want you to be aware of is just what happens. What do you start feeling in your body? This is just mindfulness.
Okay.
Okay, you could slow that touch even more. And just notice what kind of sensations you become aware of in your body.
Am I supposed to say something at some point or just?
Yeah, when you become aware of something.
Well, I have a lot of things connected to touch because my profession of 25 plus years has been massage. I've received tons of massage, and I'm very like this. I think I'm actually trained to like notice all the things. So like if someone works here and it like creates like energy to the feet and then everything tingles. So like that's kind of what's going on is I'm having kind of an intellectual experience of doing this. And the only thing that I can notice in the moment is just that it's calm and soothing, and you know, and then my mind is you know, now it's just
what is the body sensation that you're aware of that lets your brain know that this is calm and soothing.
Ah. So the body response to that lets me know that it's calm and soothing is that the breath is slowing down
Right.
and elongating. And so that just makes all of the frenetic energy
Right.
even out.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And I
So,
know that's not very descriptive
okay.
sensationally. Yeah.
Is another way of saying that, I'm guessing and projecting here, so
Yeah. Yeah.
correct
Yeah.
me if I don't have it right. The that you normally have a fairly high muscle tone throughout
Mhm.
your body,
Mhm.
that all of the opposing muscles have a moderately high degree of tension in them so that they're ready to move. And when they both relax, so they have less muscle tone, that feels calming and soothing.
Mhm.
Okay, so you're feeling that, and because it affected your breathing, I would guess that the strongest shift was in your intercostal muscles. Those are the ones in your rib cage. That
I
when
think
you
actually it was in my diaphragm.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
so it was the breath was, rather than like this is the shorter the shorter higher breathing, it was like
Uh-huh.
it became like a deeper, more spacious
Okay.
breath. So it's
Okay.
lower.
Right. So your breath shifted from chest breathing
To
down
diaphragmatic.
to towards belly breathing. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Now, second part of the exercise
And that makes me want to
is
sleep. I'm yawning.
that is
Yeah.
so common that
Yeah.
people who are have high muscle tone and use that as a way to keep going when I'm a hypnotist. So as I talk to people, my voice, I tell people regularly, here's an example of a suggestion. Yvonne, that a lot of people have told me, and this is gospel truth, that just listening to my voice is extremely relaxing. And people, they, people, and you hear that and you say, oh, I'm a people. I like relaxing. I think I'll relax. And when you do that, when that muscle tone drops, that the muscle tone that you've been holding, among other things, fights off sleepiness.
Mm-hmm.
So relaxing the muscle tone allows that sleepiness to make itself known. And people yawn. I'm used to it.
Mm-hmm.
Happens all the time.
Nice.
Right. Okay. So here's the second part. So what I want you to do is after I say go, is to stroke for until you feel that drop of muscle tone. And once you feel that, stop stroking. And what I want you to be mindful of is what happens to the direct sensations and what the pattern is and how long it takes and what happens to the response sensations and how long that takes. Sometimes for some touches are the nature of them is such that, oh, I really like that. Oh, that feels so good. And you stop, the sensations actually get stronger because it's like your body is saying, hey, wait a minute, I want more of that.
Mm.
So they get stronger and then they fade as the direct contact goes away. So notice what pattern applies to you. Okay, so stroke your hand until you feel the response sensation and then stop and notice what happens to the sensations. Okay. Can you share now? What did you
Uh,
notice?
so there was like kind of like a vibration, like it felt as though like there was movement, like a vibration movement in the like head, ears, that was kind of like moving into the shoulders. So it just kind of resonated and then got like less and less.
Okay. And that vibration started when you stopped stroking, or was it there?
No, when it was there, and so I stopped stroking.
Oh, okay. And the vibration, did it stop instantly when you stopped stroking?
No, it like lessened and lessened. After I stopped, it lessened and
Okay.
lessened.
Okay. And what about that sort of
I
tickle
stopped paying
itch?
attention to that. I didn't pay attention to both.
Oh, okay. And what
Uh-huh.
about that sense of calm and
I didn't pay
soothing?
attention to that either.
Oh, okay. 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 So let's do it
I
again.
only paid attention to one thing.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't
So
pay attention
there
to
was
all
a,
three of those things. Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Well,
so many
since you paid
things.
attention to the vibration before, which was something you didn't notice on the first round,
Hmm.
then that's kind of cool. That's kind of a cool thing.
Hmm.
And this is normal that we notice more each time we do this. Oh,
Hmm.
this is happening too. Oh, there's this other thing. Oh, and the other thing. Wow, there's a lot going on.
Hmm.
Cool. My mind and body system must be really complex. Okay, so do it again, and this time make sure to pay attention to the calm and relaxing and soothing and the actual sensation in the hand. Mine, when I've done this for like 30 seconds, nice and slow and gentle, it can last. I can still feel it a minute later. So it's amazing. But that may be because I've done it a lot.
Hmm.
That's right. You're doing well.
So I noticed more things.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, and I'm like trying to like think of all the things, right? So the first thing was when I stopped this, I felt sensations that were going up the fingers and below the palm. So I noticed that that continued. I noticed that the vibration like that I that's the best way I can describe that was like less uh, meth- uh, methodical, like less of
That's
a pattern. It was like slower. It felt like there was energy that was going like down the abdominal area, and then this time I felt like more energy going into my legs. But then I noticed that like I was like, okay, so checking in with like the tension released and the breath like has been like belly breathing, like what's going on there. And I was like, oh wow, it's really short. And then I thought to myself, am I having performance anxiety? That's
Well,
why
of
I started
course,
to
we're
laugh.
recording this.
Yeah, totally. That's why I started to laugh.
Right,
But I
right.
still feel
Okay.
this. I even still feel this now. It's like I still feel what's going on in my
Yeah, yeah.
fingers
Isn't
now.
that amazing that we can feel a sensation?
Yeah.
There's nothing touching there.
Uh-huh.
And now we get to the third part. You're
Mhm.
doing great.
Okay,
Now we
great.
get to the third part, which is the most amazing part. And this leads, if you do anything in hypnosis, this is where it starts getting really cool. I want you to imagine stroking your.
Oh,
Don't
cool.
actually do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just imagine it and notice the sensations that arise. That's right. Yeah.
That is weird.
Yes, isn't it?
That's weird.
Okay. Tell me what you're noticing.
Okay. So the sensation in the hand is like 10 times more intense than like the actually doing it,
Right,
but
right.
it went down into the arm. It was like stronger into the legs, but then it started to like I started to feel, oh, my shoulders dropped, and my breath got like more like greater than it had been. So like that breath became like easier. Like it wasn't
Ah,
just deep, but it was like easier.
okay.
But I started to feel the same sensation. The thing that was like, that is weird. I started to feel the same sensation I was feeling in this hand. I started feeling in this hand. That's what I was
Beautiful.
like,
Oh,
that is
this is
weird.
yes,
Okay.
this is cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That
This is
was really
cool.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. In in my book, I make use of that phenomenon to basically to create more and more powerful sensations that essentially create, call it life energy, positive energy, whatever we want to call it, to drive the shifting of beliefs. Anyway, that's okay, great. So
Yeah, I
that's
just think it's like it's amazing that like the sensation in like these two fingers are the same, but what's happened to this hand hasn't happened to this hand, and I just find that's why I said that just
right.
seems so
Oh yeah,
weird.
yeah,
It's really cool, but
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, and when I do,
Also, I
go ahead.
I would say that like so often, when people are talking about like manifesting, they like, see yourself there now, like see yourself actually doing the thing in the future or whatever. And the ability just like to imagine the finger doing what I've already been doing to the hand was like at first, like, do I actually see the finger doing that? Like, am I like seeing it in the mind, it happening in reality shouldn't be challenging, but it actually was for a moment. Like I couldn't actually see myself doing that. And then I was like, that's interesting. And then like visualizing it like more effectively, I guess. And then I was like, oh, okay, there it is. And then I made the connection, the neuro
Right,
connection of like, oh my gosh, if I can do this like this, then how much more will that impact like all the other visualizations that I do with the things that I want to create in my life?
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
And if you're working with someone else and
Mhm.
they're having difficulty doing those visualizations, start with this because this is what you're visualizing with this, what you're imagining with this is something that has no importance. It's just
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.